Hey there, Sagittarius. Let's do a tarot card reading about the Mercury retrograde energies that you are going to be dealing with. I'm going to do a random one, though. Like, I've already done your love reading, and I have done your financial reading, and I've done your March reading. Those are all up on my TikTok already to look into, like, every week of the month of March. But in this reading, using the Orion's Animal Tarot deck, I wanted to break things down a little bit here and just let the cards pull out something random. So let's see what you're dealing with in this Mercury retrograde. And you're starting off, by the way, with a Tower moment, which is pretty darn heavy. And I'm going to dig into this a little bit and see what's up here. All right, I want to say first off the bat, the Tower moment is here. It looks like the heavy Tower moment already occurred, though, because the Tower moment is in the reversal position. It means that something got pulled out from under you very quickly, but it's like the walls of the situation had to come down. And the Tower, a lot of people don't know, is connected to the rigid rule systems of the Hierophant. The Hierophant in tarot, it represents the church, like the Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, and the rigid rules that they have. When they crumble down their power, people come closer to their truth instead of having to search for success in the walls of a building, in the walls of an institution. They can search for the truth within themselves. But usually, to get this truth to be revealed, the universe will come in and tear down the walls that a person builds up for themselves. Sometimes we build up walls of our life, of our house. We paint a picture of what we want to be with a person. We paint a picture of what we want to be, and we give ourselves these rules with what we want to do with our job. And then the Tower moment comes and we realize and we learn that the thing that we've built up for ourselves was an illusion. We built up these rules that don't really exist in the eyes and the mind of, like, spirituality in the universe. We build up all the rules we want. The universe don't care about our rules. The universe just cares about its own rules. And then if we are trying to make up rules in the meantime, we might have to learn the hard way that something we thought was real in the past, it wasn't going to last. It wasn't going to work out. We were building up a false system. So then the Tower moment comes and removes that system. Sometimes it's the way we view the rules of our family. Sometimes it's the way we view the rules of how we handle money. But ultimately, when the Tower moment comes, it means that we are about to think outside of the box. We're going to have to work in a new rule system. That's why the Tower is often called the card of, or the Hierophant and the Tower, they're called the cards of the rule breakers, because it puts you in a position of time where you have to try something new. I really do like that the Seven of Cups is here in the reversal, though, because it means that when you do this dynamic, when you're searching for this new road, these new rules, you're going to have the willpower to get it done. This is about making the decisions to get it done. It's great strength and desire to accomplish and make the right decisions going forward. I think for many of you, this might have to do with finances. A little bit here. Pardon me if I'm yawning all of a sudden. I just got out of live streams on TikTok, and then I did a whole bunch of readings, and so I'm getting a little bit tired. You're my last reading of the day. The Six of Pentacles, though, the reason I think it's about finances a little bit here is because for many of you, this card represents transactions. And yes, transactions can energetically be connected to people, so that could be one aspect of it. But it's the card of the merchant. It's a person who does specific transactions, the Six of Pentacles. But when it's in the reversal, it's about an imbalance that has happened. Somebody who has more power than another person. Sometimes a power imbalance happens in relationships. Other times a power imbalance occurs between you and your boss, or you and the institution that you dealt with. Just saying, because that's a card of merchant and this is a card of institutions, that's two cards that are kind of talking about things on a societal level, like, buildings of power in society. That's like your jobs, your offices, your court buildings, your education buildings, the places where you make money. But it's in the position of a power imbalance, so it kind of gives me this vibe of my intuition here that you knew that there was an imbalance happening. Or even like with the way that bills and credit systems work and society works, you knew that there's an imbalance of some sort. And you're trying to make your decision of how you navigate around that situation. The Two of Wands is also here. And the Two of Wands is the card of the crossroads. So right now, you don't have the position of forward movement. Right now, you have the decision making. You have to make the choice of how to move forward now that the old isn't going to work anymore. So I want you to really think about that, though. What I just said, the old is not working. That is not what you are supposed to be doing. If you choose to do the same thing as before, you're going to keep yourself in the power imbalance. Whether that's a person, whether that is a job, whether that's a course, this is going to require a new direction with the crossroads. Because the old path is gone now. This should be the card of the one road now, because this tower moment has happened. The other road is going to be blocked off. So you're going to have to go in a different direction. The Page of Cups in the reversal, usually that has to do with deception, but it can also bring up energies of like being frauded and being swindled out of something. So again, I know it's the Page of Cups, but a lot of the times being frauded or swindling has to do with financial shit. Pardon my French. Like dealing with a bill in the mail and you find out that the person who did the bill in the mail, they gave you the wrong number. Or dealing with a real estate agent and all of a sudden they sneak in a different fee. Or dealing with Doug Ford and his OSAP and realizing now all of a sudden you don't have OSAP money. And you have to all of a sudden go a completely new route because the institution got pulled out from under you. Or like dealing with your 401k or your pension and all of a sudden the rules change. That's what the name of this is. This talks about rule changes and it feels like it's a societal institution type thing. And the Page of Cups feels like it was a ripoff. Like something has to change because the thing you thought you could do, you can't do it no more. And you're realizing that. I like the Temperance card here though. In this position, the Temperance card has to do with being protected in this situation. The front of the Temperance card is a guardian angel that is guiding the situation. It takes a length of time, though. It doesn't usually happen just quickly. But it does give you the promise that you will come out of this situation on the other side. Right? You will be able to achieve past this dynamic here. I'm going to dig in a little bit more on that. Let's put these other cards back in the deck and let's do a little bit of a quick flip reading on how the Temperance dynamic is going to unfold. Pardon me for knocking my camera here. Okay. The Ace of Swords. That's the loss that you had to take. The High Priestess in the reversal. You're resistant to it big time. You don't want to do it. You are not feeling this change. Yeah, you're resistant like crazy. You're going to get pulled out of it. I'm telling you. You're like, I don't want to change this thing. Both of these cards are about severe resistance. This one's called kicking a dead horse when it's down. I'm telling you, the other path, the old strategy is no longer, and you are going to have to come to a point of acceptance on that. And I'm not trying to come from a position of being lectury either. So feel free to tell me to put my own foot in my mouth or something like that. You know, shut me up if you want me to. Because I'm not trying to lecture you guys. But I can see it a lot in the cards here. Like these cards are doubling and tripling down on that dynamic. That the old situation is not going to work out. Whether that's a person, whether that's an institution, whatever the old way of being is. Resistance is futile. Is what the concept is coming up for this. See, the High Priestess, she is the one who causes the tower. And she's in the reversal position. So the tower moment has already occurred, but she's trying to feel like maybe there's hope. But in the reversal, that is, it reminds me of the Ten of Cups in the reversal. It's called the Repose of the False Heart. It's like trying to hold on to a rule system that is no longer. Trying to be hopeful for a rule system that is no longer. The more you hold on to sand, the more it slips through your fingers anyways. And the Ten of Swords, that's the card of the martyr. There's nothing more evident than an ending of a situation than 10 swords stabbing through it. That was not the most positive for the Temperance card. I wanted to see how the universe is going to guide you. And the universe is just like, you're going to resist the guidance that comes in. It's like the universe is going to offer you a sense of protection, and I'll be quite frank, it looks like you don't necessarily want it at first. Let's see what else we can get. Oh, man. Maybe if this isn't you, then this is a person that you know. Whoever it is, they are stubborn. And the King of Pentacles in the reversal is the card of someone who needs to use their intelligence properly. Arthur Edward Waite, over 100 years ago, referred to that as the card of bad intelligence, otherwise known as being stupid. And I don't want to call you guys stupid, so I wonder if maybe you're looking at somebody who's really stupid. Again, if it's an institutional thing, maybe you're looking at your boss and you're like, my boss is fucking stupid. Or my mother-in-law, or my, the board of directors is plumb evil. The card can be referred to as evil or bad intelligence. And whoever it is that's got that mind frame, the universe is going to try and help you out with that. And if it's your intelligence that the universe is going to help you out with, then my God, the universe has your back. Because it's one thing to be protected against another person. It's another thing to be protected against your own self when you're the one who won't let go of something. I'm going to leave you off with that. You have much protection and much guidance that you will see at some point in the future. But it would serve you, I think, to brush your skills up on what's called the law of non-resistance, because these cards are about resistance. And I think if there's anything, even right down to a science level, a physics level, when it comes to things that do not progress and go forward, it's the things that you resist against. I will leave you off with that, my dears. Thank you very much for this, and ciao for now.